When I was first diagnosed, before I even knew the names Swink or McDougall, I knew I had to overhaul my diet if I had any shot at beating this disease. That even though I was a vegetarian at the time, I was a junk food one at best, and I had to improve my diet to get the most nutrient-dense foods in daily. And I immediately turned to smoothies as the answer. To this day, I still have a smoothie daily, whether it be for breakfast, lunch, and many times for both. And this is why I want to talk to you about smoothies. In this lesson, we'll cover the benefits of smoothies, the equipment required, key elements of a smoothie, making a smoothie, and smoothie troubleshooting. So, why even make a smoothie? Well, they provide a quick, energy-packed meal, snack, or treat. They make great meals on the go. Like I said, very nutrient dense, are an excellent way to work in greens, are a great way to work in chia seeds or flax seeds for omega-3 fatty acid hit. They can hide foods that you don't like beets or celery. They can be made using a vast variety of ingredients, and they're easy to make and require very little energy on your part. So to make a high-quality smoothie, that starts with a high-powered blender. This will ensure that everything is finely ground, including berry seeds and flax seeds. Trust me, I've gone through them all, and I was never happier until I landed on a Vitamix, although Blendtec is another popular option. And a NutriBullet is great when traveling. There are some key elements to consider when making a smoothie. Number 1, liquid. I prefer water, but you can use a non-dairy milk or juice, but sparingly because that's a lot of sugar. You want to play with the amount of liquid you use to get your desired smooth consistency. Personally, I like a very juice-like smoothie, so I add a lot of water. 2, dried, fresh, or frozen fruits. Again, I use all three for one smoothie. I like fresh when it's in season, frozen fruits when they're not, and dried dates, all in the same smoothie. 3, greens. These are optional, but I highly suggest you incorporate them because greens are extremely nutrient dense, and if you're like me, you probably don't like to eat them. Pre-washed and cut greens are great time savers. 4, spice. This is optional, but vanilla, cinnamon, nutmeg, those can change up your smoothie. 5, add-ins. Again, optional, but things like chia seeds or flax seeds, nut butters, soaked oats, cacao powder, probiotics, very good add-on suggestions. Now, I personally like to add the contents of one probiotic capsule to help balance the natural sugar content of sweet smoothies. This also aids in the digestive system and can boost immunity. It's undetectable in a smoothie, and if you're like me and can't swallow pills, well, it's a great alternative. Now, avoid protein powders. I know they're very popular, but they're completely unnecessary. We'll get more into protein later, but for now, don't buy into the protein hype. And number 6, ice. If you're not going to use frozen ingredients, ice is essential. Here's a chart to visually interpret what we just covered. One little tip. Our taste buds are temperature sensitive, so a half a cup of frozen broccoli or cauliflower might sound strange, but can be incorporated without altering the flavor of your smoothie. So try it. Okay, let's make a smoothie. 1, you want to add your fresh or non-frozen items first. These are your fruit, your greens, and your add-ins. This will give the blades something to grab onto. 2, if you're not using frozen ingredients, you will need to add a half a cup to 1 cup of ice cubes. A neat little trick to consider is freezing cubes of leftover fruit or vegetable juice or even tea. Use this instead of plain ice for a flavor or nutrient boost. 3, liquid. Add just enough liquid to get your desired consistency. Personally, I go about a half an inch below the food in the blender. 4, you want to blend until all your ingredients have reached your desired consistency. About 30 to 60 seconds. Some ingredients take longer. I've gone as long as 2 minutes. 5. You want to pour into a glass or to-go container, such as a glass mason jar. Now, smoothies can be made in bulk, but it's best not to keep them longer than 3 days, as the nutrients begin to die once the food is blended. For optimal nutrition, consume immediately or within the next few hours. Consuming smoothies right away does maximize the nutrient value. However, for convenience, they can be refrigerated in a sealed glass container for a few hours or even overnight. For longer storage, you can freeze smoothies in a glass jar. Make sure you allow an inch of space for expansion of liquids. Then defrost in the refrigerator, shake, or blend before serving. Smoothie troubleshooting. If your smoothie is too frothy, reduce the liquid and do not blend as long. If it's too runny, reduce your liquid. If it's not sweet enough, you can add a sweetener such as stevia, dates, honey, maple syrup. If it's too bitter, use less greens or try a different green. And if it's not blending well, make sure you don't pack or fill your blender too high, and you may have to blend in different batches, or you didn't listen to my first tip and it's time to get a high-powered blender. Now, go get your smoothie on.